Second and 1, handoff, Zeke crashing through the right side to the goal line and walks the dog. Touchdown, Cowboys. And the snap to Prescott, and it's an option keep, and Prescott around the right side, and Prescott walks the dog. Touchdown, Cowboys. Prescott's under center, feed Elliott, coming right, 50-yard line and sprinting. He's going 20 and 10. Zeke Elliott. 60 yards, touchdown Cowboys.
The Cowboys, without Tony Romo and Dez, are in first place in the NFC East thanks to Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott. Dallas now 4-1 after a win over Cincy. In second place, the Eagles fall to 3-1. The Redskins move up to third with a win over the Ravens, and the Giants fall to the bottom of the division at 2-3 with a loss to the Packers.
We're so far away from that first week conversation, Max.
You ain't
Good
lying.
old Eli, huh? Boy, I tell you.
He has not had his best season so far.
No.
Because he doesn't have an O-line like the Cowboys, by the way.
Ryan, are the Cowboys the team to beat in the NFC East?
I don't want to say it, but yes. Right now, they are. Obviously, the defense was my worry. I felt like I didn't know if they could stop people. Coach Marinelli, the defense coordinator, has these guys playing sound football. Morris Claiborne, someone we thought wasn't living up to being the 6th pick of the draft, is now making plays. Brandon Carr, who had to take a pay cut on the other side, is now confident, able to stick Julio Jones. You move Jones, who was a guy who played corner with extreme measurables from the University of Connecticut to safety, and now you have someone who can go sideline to sideline in the back end, so much so that there's deep routes against A.J. Green yesterday, and you aren't nervous when the ball is in the air. And this is the team we felt like wasn't going to be able to rush the passer. There's no way you lose the people they have up front. You have the people suspended that they do, and you're able to play good defense. We've seen this defense make the plays it needed week after week. And Ezekiel, I still don't necessarily know that he's a great running back, but I did learn yesterday that he can really run fast. This is a guy who was a track guy. Watching that highlight, I kept hearing the announcer say he walks the dog. More importantly there was nobody to touch the dog as it was walking. Dak Prescott scores a touchdown where he's untouched going into the end zone. Ezekiel Elliott has a 60-yard run with nobody around him. Part of that was him being able to split the defense. But this offensive line, as much as we talk about Jerry Jones, as hard as we are on him that he's always in front of the camera, he's making these decisions. He made decisions to build this offensive line. And now he's put pieces in place to make plays behind it. And this is going to be a tough team to beat because when you can run the ball the way that they do and control the clock the way that they do, and you have a quarterback who's not making mistakes, to Stephen A's point about Sam Bradford, eventually he will throw an interception. Eventually he will have a bad play. But this team is good enough to overcome that. And right now, they're the team you have to catch in the NFC East.
I think the key here is Jerry Jones ceded some control to Stephen Jones, who's made wiser, more kind of fundamentally sound football decisions. I mean, the story of the game was actually the defense, because you knew the offensive line could do this. The defense held it down against a very good offense, against a physically talented offense. They really did an excellent job. So are the Cowboys the team to beat in the NFC East? Let me just say, the answer is yes, and that gave me a bad feeling all day. Like, I sat there, if you don't like me, then be happy about yesterday, because it was just a bad feeling all day. Like, it affected my mood all day. It affected my mood when I got up this morning, just like a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach. The Cowboys, damn it, they are the team to beat in the NFC East at this moment, because the plan, even with Romo as quarterback, before the Romo injury, although they had to be prepared for a Romo injury, the plan was to run the ball with Ezekiel Elliott. Now, I said earlier in this season, I don't know if he's that fast. Like, I know he has his speed on the stopwatch, but does he have football speed, gridiron speed? And I think what I was reacting to is he doesn't seem to be a guy who can juke a lot, a guy who can zigzag through. He's a guy who, when there's a hole, he is out, done.
Not the road runner.
Yeah, road runner. Cloud of smoke. And I just look at that. Just accelerates through defenders. And so he's uniquely he's uniquely positioned to take advantage of a great offensive line because they will create holes and he will maximize those holes. Is he a great running back? As I said about DeMarco Murray a couple years ago was a good running back running behind a very good offensive line. That very good offensive line has developed into a great one. And in Ezekiel Elliott, they have at least a very good running back running behind a great offensive line. It is a problem for the rest of the league. If the defense plays like that, what are you going to do?
Oh, my goodness.
You know, this is a beautiful segment for me because, you see, I have to look at Dak Prescott. You know, first 13 passes he threw, he completed where he wasn't pressured. 16 of 17 passes he completed yesterday when he wasn't pressured. I'm looking at some of these numbers here. First 155 pass attempts without an interception, you know, NFL record, you know, second most to start a career in NFL history. I'm looking at him and Ezekiel Elliott, 1,000-yard passer, 500-yard rusher. We look at the offensive line. Then we see the defense. And we sit there and say, damn, you know, they're playing defense. So guess what? Can I sit here and say that the Dallas Cowboys are the team to beat in the NFC East? I most certainly can. But why am I smiling about that? Allow me to tell you why. Because of how we started out the show. What do I always say? See, Max hasn't learned this about me yet, Molly. You should know this by now, Molly Wood. But I'm going to repeat myself just in case. You too. All right, you're Benedict Arnold. I'll deal with you later. Let me educate Max Kellerman about something, Professor Kellerman here, because I want to make sure that y'all understand. I never say the Dallas Cowboys don't have talent. I never say they don't have potential. What I always say about the Dallas Cowboys, Molly, is what? Whatever can happen will happen. They will find a way to mess it up, and in the end, the accident waiting to happen that they are will come shining through. And I've even said on many occasions, you remember this from years ago, Ryan, Max Kellerman, I've even sat back. Remember the Dallas Cowboys 12-4 season? I sat up here, I was just like this, Max. Relax, take your time. Don't worry about it. It's coming. You understand? Because see this notion that I want the Dallas Cowboys to stink. No,
I want them to stink.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Last year, I was miserable. Do you know why I was miserable? Because we knew they were done early. There's no fun in that. I want Dallas Cowboy fans to suffer. I want them to suffer bad. I can't stand Cowboy fans, and nothing would please me more than for the Dallas Cowboys to elevate themselves to prosperity and to be right there on the tip of it all. And then, as you would say, fall off the cliff.
Yeah.
And guess where my evidence is that this is destined to happen? Jerry Jones, because the man went out yesterday. Dak Prescott balled yesterday. Did he ball yesterday? I think he balled yesterday. Did he ball? What about Ezekiel Elliott? Did he ball yesterday? I mean, everything is flowing. And what does Jerry Jones decide to do? Tony Romo's still our guy. It's beautiful. I mean, it's there for me. It's there for me to happen. I'm trying to tell you right now. We know that Dak Prescott should stay there. I'm trying to tell you right now. It is there. Jerry Jones is going to deliver Christmas to me early. You can book it. He's gonna mess it up. It's who he is. It's who he is.
Read the fine print. Actually, what Jerry Jones said, I read very differently. He's talking about Romo's health. If Romo is healthy, and he's just kind of harping on the health, then he's our guy. In other words, how healthy does he have to be? So now
we have to say he's healthy enough.
So now if Dak is balling, you say, well, Romo's almost there. He's not there yet.
You don't know, Jerry. I did say the prodigal son. I did say he's adopted. He might as well be Tony Jones. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I did say that to you. He's going to mess this up. Just take your time.
Hey, Max,
you're right.
Relax.
Hey, Max,
relax. Just wait and see.
Here's what happened just now.
It's coming.
Stephen A. based that whole thing on hope, not facts.
Hold on, wait a minute. Time out. That's a good argument. It's a good argument. I won't refute that, unlike because he'll try to refute anything. But I'm not him. I will fess up to you and to say it is hope. But it is hope based on history. Max is giving me permission to use history. Max is giving me permission to use history.
Here's the question.
The history is there where Jerry Jones has messed it up. So I would say to you, are you technically right? Sure. It's hope. But it's hope based on
Here's the
a
question.
history of hope coming to fruition when it comes to Jerry Jones and the Cowboys.
I hope you're right. Believe me, no one hopes you're right more than me. I want to be wrong about the Dallas Cowboys and what I've seen so far this year. Here's the question. Based on history, sure, Jerry Jones will mess it up somehow, right? But what have we seen from recent history? I just mentioned it at the top of this segment. Jerry Jones has increasingly ceded control of the franchise to Stephen Jones, who sees things apparently much less irrationally and emotionally, much more soberly. Did not draft Johnny Manziel, you know, really kind of put his body in front of drafting Johnny Manziel, and has made much sounder, like the investment in the draft, especially on the offensive line. If Jerry Jones gets a lot of credit, seems to me to be a Stephen Jones joint. So if recent history is anything, then maybe things are changing for them.
You hold on to that. You hold on to that.
Oh, what?
That
I wanna be wrong.
That Jerry Jones is going to sit up there and let Stephen Jones do everything. He's not going to play a part of the decision, especially when it comes to Tony Romo. You're going to believe that. You're going to believe that. I'm going to hold on to my hope based on history. That's all I got to say.
You got to have hope.
How about that?
Keep it alive. We would like you to weigh in on home. Did Tony Jones or Tony Romo lose his job on Sunday?
By the way, if I've offended anybody,
What?
I apologize.
Oh, really?
Oh, God.
Oh, really?
Oh, you are something else. Go on the First Take Twitter page to vote. I'm not commenting because I don't want to get in trouble. We'll share those results a little later.
That's Saturday Night Live. That's Saturday Night Live. That's all.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, guys.